Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to another installment of the Pre-Millionaire. What to do while you wait? You know doggone well you was meant to be a successful entrepreneur, business owner, person in life, or whatever the case may be. You were meant to be successful, whether somebody told you, whether the good Lord has told you that you were supposed to be going to be successful, whether you know when you told yourself and you're going to do everything it takes to make it. However, you got the revelation that you were to be successful, multi-purposeful, a wealthy individual, business owner, whatever the case may be, this is for you. This channel is for you uh, while you wait. Because I'm telling you, it is rough. Knowing, especially a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we're visionaries. So we can see the goal, we can see the wealth, the riches, we can see what we're gonna be doing. We can a lot of times we can specifically see the what we're gonna be driving, what we're gonna be staying in, what we're gonna be living in, bank accounts. You can see all these types of things, but the issue is trying to mentally focus and stay on task while life goes on, while you wait, while you're trying to walk towards it. Because everybody knows if you're on a journey for greatness, the issue is what do you do in the meanwhile? While you're waiting, while you're trying to get there, while you're trying to process everything, while you're trying to hit miss or what do you want to say? You're going through the process. You're learning, the learning curve, the learning phase. Mentors are great, and that's a wonderful thing to have mentors, mentorships, and stuff like that. A lot of people don't have the funding, the money, currency to be able to pay for a mentor. Books are great. Learning everything that you possibly can about your craft, what you're doing, stuff like that. And trial and error is very important. Now, a lot of times we don't want to do the trial and error because we want to go immediately walk to the stuff that works and start doing it. Well, here's a news flash. It does not matter what you're doing, what business you decide to walk with, what entity you go and try to start, a for-profit, non-profit, LLC, S corp, C corp, whatever you just partnership, conglomerate, whatever you go with. The bottom line is you're going to have to go through trial and error. You're going to have to go through that learning curve. I don't care if you have Warren Buffett as your mentor. You're still going to have to learn what works for you, per se, and what you're trying to do. Even though you have direct access to somebody or something that's going to guide and lead you to the right direction, but you still have to know not only what worked for them, but what works for you. Uh, the issue is this. Man, you're probably, especially if you're like myself, who came from, I'm not going to say extreme poverty, but came from a township, a small city that didn't have a lot of successful people. So you didn't see successful. A lot of us can become successful because we see success, and it's tough when you don't see success. You got to kind of just guess and I'm from an era before the internet. A lot of us didn't have the internet back then when we got started. There were books and stuff like that. Well, unfortunately, if you didn't know where to look or how to get it done, you were just basically spinning your wheels and stuff like that. Now these days we don't have a lot of excuses because everything is right there at our fingertips. Everybody got a smartphone, some sort of cell phone, some sort of laptop, tablet, touchscreen device. Even if you don't, you know somebody that does. And if you don't know anybody who does, guess what? They have public libraries everywhere. My tongue is getting stuck to the roof of my mouth and all that goodness. I'm not. Anywho, I digress. So moving forward, as a man of God, as having faith, I have to tell you this. This is what God has spoken and told me. God says He does not need any help. A lot of times we mess ourselves up because we try to, especially if God has shown us or man or woman of God has come up to you and gave you a word that came from God that says God is about to bless you. Well, immediately what we try to do is, in our minds, especially us entrepreneurs and business owners and things like that, we immediately try to say, well, shoot, let me guess how God is about to bless us. Oh, I already had such and such working, so I know it's got to be coming through that. No, 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 no. sometimes it may, but more times than none, God will come to you and bless you in a way that you had no earthly idea, or how it would have been put together or placed. The strategics is almost unreal. So what am I saying? God don't need any help. So a lot of times you're like, oh, well, I already got this investment over here, and I know this investment is about to just pop off, and so I'm about to start to nurture that investment that I planted a seed in. When truth be told, that's probably not the way. That it's a probably that the blessing is probably coming your way. So what you have to do is you got to go to God and say, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do? While I wait on this success that's coming my way, what do I have to do to grow? What do I have to do to learn? What do I have to do to build? What do I have to do to make sure that I'm in position to receive what you are preparing for me? What are you giving to me? What do I have to do to make sure that I am not out of position instead of in the way? You ever be in the kitchen trying to cook? I don't know if you guys cook food or don't cook food, but for those who cook, and especially if you're pretty decent at cooking, you ever have somebody try to come in the kitchen while you're trying to cook, and they like, well, I'm trying to help out, and actually they're actually hurting or in the way rather more than what they're helping. But in there, you probably don't want to be rude or mean and say, hey, move out the way. I got it. You're in my way. You probably kind of let them be there sometimes, especially if you're trying to teach them and show them something. But they're kind of in the way, so they're slowing down the process. They're stepping in on the things that's already set in place, because you were gonna prepare a great meal anyways. Well, they were there thinking that they were helping, but they were actually hurting. So what am I beginning to say right now? What am I trying to convey? What is the message I am trying to convey at the moment? A lot of times when God has a blessing for you, the issue that you have is you're getting in your own way from receiving the entire blessing the way that you're supposed to get it. So the problem that you're having is you're blocking yourself from what you're supposed to get. This is what you have to do. Ask God, what do you want me to do? Ask God, what am I supposed to be doing, especially while I'm waiting? Talk to God. I mean, if and here's the thing: if you're not comfortable with going to God yourself, go to somebody that you trust, that you know hears from the Lord. Go to somebody that you trust, that you know without a shadow of somebody that gives you spiritual advice or whatever the case may be. Go to them and talk to them, because these are the people who's going to help bless you along the way, who's going to help be your eyes and ears along the way. So therefore, you're going to be able to be in a position to still do what you need to do, uh, and be, while you wait. So that's what I got for today. Peace out.